سهلنا والجبل منبط للرجال قولنا والعمل في سبيل الكمال كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم كلنا للوطن.
Welcome, bienvenue, ahlan wa sahlan, to the hooding and graduation ceremony of the LAU Gilbert and Rosemary Chagoury School of Medicine. Today we celebrate the 8th graduating class of our medical school, our 5th group of graduating residents, and our first cohort of graduating fellows. The hooding ceremony is an ancient tradition dating from the Middle Ages. The placement of the hood is a symbolic passing of the torch from teachers and mentors to those receiving professional and advanced degrees. And today we present to you our first online ceremony, where the hood will be placed in spirit. I know we all wish to celebrate this occasion together, whether under the same roof or under the stars. But remember that today's physical distancing is not social isolation. On the contrary, it joins us together in an act of sharing, solidarity, and even love, which we offer not only for our own benefit, but for the good of all others. You, parents, families, friends, and teachers must be so proud of your graduates, as I am. These rising young doctors, whom I've often described to my own sons as my other children. Graduates, it's stunning to have seen you transform since your first days at LAU SOM. And now you've arrived on the front lines of medicine during such a turbulent period. But don't forget that throughout history, the great crises, wars, natural disasters, and even epidemics have sparked advancements in medical care and have forged great physicians. While none of us would have ever wished for these crises, sometimes they are thrust upon us. Your formative years as healthcare professionals are taking place during a pandemic, and there's no doubt in my mind that yours will be a most special generation of doctors. It is my honor now to present our revered president of LAU, Dr. Joseph G. Jabra. President Jabra, in his humility, is not fond of long introductions, but there are a few things you should know about him. Dr. Jabra holds a degree in law and a doctorate in political science. He has authored countless books, reviews, and scholarly papers. And as a public speaker, he is without equal. From an exceptional background of academic leadership in the US and Canada, Dr. Jabra came to assume the presidency of LAU in 2004, and the university was launched on a path of renaissance. And our great medical school owes its very existence to his vision, commitment, and tireless efforts. Dr. Jabra will embark on a new adventure later this year, though we hoped he would never leave, a richly deserved retirement from the presidency. So how lucky you are, class of 2020, to have him here today to preside over your celebration. May I present to you the incomparable, our cherished president of LAU, Joseph Jabra.
Good afternoon. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Michel Mawad, Dean and President-elect, Dr. George Nasr, Provost, Associate and Assistant Deans, parents, and above all, dearest graduates. Though apart physically, make no mistake that we are together as never before. We live in unprecedented times, but we will get through this cluster of crises, emerge stronger, and continue to carry out our mission to learn, to heal, and to serve. For the noble calling you have chosen, dear graduates, is absolutely exceptional. In fact, I have always been in awe of the magnitude of the commitment your calling requires, and in admiration, of course, of the awesome responsibilities that physicians assume to serve humanity so readily and so selflessly, and contribute so generously and proudly to the continuing ascent of our civilization. In that light, I salute you as precious gifts to each other, to the world. In fact, you are the world. Although medical graduation held without the display of togetherness, of caps and gowns floating in the wind near the fountain on the LAU Biblos campus is anything but normal. Today's e-hooding ceremony is graced by our deep love for you and appreciation of who you are, who you have become at LAU, and now, of course, graduating with pride from the Gilbert and Rosemary Chagoury School of Medicine, a school that I so much love and so deeply care for. And to those doctors, friend doctors, who told me in New York when I revealed in 2007 our plan for the establishment of a medical school at LAU, and I quote, "Joe, you will never be able to establish a medical school. Have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're doing?" Well, to those non-believing doctors, to those Thomases, I say with pride now, come and see for yourselves the miraculous and transformative successes of our medical school, its exceptional and humane character. Come and see, come and share with us the joy of graduating the best and the brightest doctors. Come and bear witness to the stunning achievements of our medical graduates in Lebanon, in Europe, in Canada, in the US, including, of course, Match Day. Come and engage our residents and fellows, and you will be struck by their passionate drive in their fields of specialization and contribute significantly to the advancement of medicine. Come and experience the high quality of our medical programs and marvel at the uniqueness of our simulation center. Come and watch our meticulous plans to expand our clinical facilities to respond to the needs of our students, and come and applaud with us the beautiful and miraculous unfolding of the ideal medical calling into a way of life for our graduates. In that regard, last night I was talking to a friend of mine in New York, and he confided in me that his son, who was about to graduate from NYU Medical School, was recruited early by Governor Cuomo to help in the fight against coronavirus. He said to me that his son came back last evening very upset, didn't eat supper, and couldn't sleep because he couldn't save the life of one of his coronavirus patients. Dearest graduates, that story made me think for a while about the relationship between a physician and his patient, her patient. And although I am not in the business of giving advice, but I am going to ask for your indulgence this time around, as this will be my last speech to a graduating medical class before I give on October 1st, 2020, the reins of responsibility to Dr. Michelle Maawad, President-elect, who will lead the university, the medical school, and our clinical and healthcare facilities to greater achievements still. As physicians, you have to realize that you have no unlimited healing power, that you will always have the feeling that you know less than what you should know, that despite all of this, you must persist and find comfort in this uncertainty that sometimes, if not often, keeps hidden from you the awesome secrets of life and death. Please be humble in your passion to heal humanity, for humility will help you come to terms with the imposing limitation of medicine. But despite those imposing limitations, as you well know, medicine and science have made giant leaps in improving the human conditions. Just think for a moment, if Hippocrates had to deal with the EMR, he'd probably have picked a different profession, or he'd have really changed the oath to first do no harm unless it's breaking that darn computer. Just keep in mind that although you will bring a vastly different set of tools to your patient's bedside, you still work at the bedside of a human being who is ill and desperately needs your help. You need to listen to people who are in pain and work very, very hard to heal them. And by doing so, you will really dignify their lives. And don't do it for the money. You will make enough money, believe you me. Don't try to worship two gods, money and medicine. With the former, you will certainly fail your calling. With the latter, you will satisfy your innermost sanctum and please your soul. Your patients need you when no one is listening and where others refuse to see. In the middle of that hubbub, you will bring serenity to them. You will be their guardian angels. And in being just that, you will realize your calling à la perfection. As you so well know, physicians, you yourselves remain the most respected people in the world. As such, you carry a great deal of moral power. I urge you, I exhort you to use that power to effect needed and real change for you, for the patients, for your colleagues, for medicine, and for the world. I take this opportunity, really in one way or another, of asking yourselves, don't be sleep deprived. Don't be exhausted. Get some rest and spare some time to smell the roses with your loved ones. Otherwise, you will be no good for others. In closing, and on behalf of the LAU family, I congratulate you, congratulate your parents and loved ones. I thank the Dean of the Medical School, Dr. Maawad, the Provost, Dr. Nasser, Associate and Assistant Deans, the faculty, the staff, and all the physicians and nurses who played a major role in bringing you to this important rite of passage in your lives. And so, dear graduates, imbued with and inspired by the LAU magnificent values, go forth and continue your drive to learn and excel in medicine, to achieve self-fulfillment, to pursue the truth doggedly, to foster human dignity, to strengthen gender equality, and to always be inclusive. And one more thing, don't forget for a fleeting moment that wherever you are, wherever you go, and whatever you do, don't forget LAU. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, President Jabra. I now have the privilege to introduce you to our beloved Dean of the Gilbert and Rosemary Chagoury School of Medicine, Dr. Michel Mawad. Dr. Mawad's professional life has spanned 2 continents as he studied medicine at St. Joseph University in Beirut and completed training in radiology and neuroradiology in New York. He had a quite remarkable 32-year career at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, where he pioneered minimally invasive techniques for cerebrovascular disorders, held positions as tenured professor and chair, and appointments in 5 different departments, among many other accomplishments. Dr. Mawad has established state-of-the-art stroke centers in Houston, in Abu Dhabi, and then a first for Lebanon at our own LAU Medical Center at Rizal Hospital. Since arriving at LAU in 2017, our dean has served as the quintessential leader and educator and a skilled and compassionate physician. He has expanded and unified the human and physical resources of our medical school and medical center. And during the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, he has not only maintained our school's trajectory, but has even seized the opportunity to strengthen and highlight its humanitarian mission and position it even better for the future. As you have heard, Dr. Mawad's own future will soon see him transition from the deanship to a different role. And for us, this change leaves us with mixed emotions. But we could not be more fortunate and we cannot feel more proud that his next position of leadership will be as the incoming president of Lebanese American University. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Dean and President-elect Michel Mawad.
Thank you, Nancy. President Jabra, Provost Nasser, honorable members of the Board of Trustees that might be listening to us or seeing us, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents at LAU, my fellow deans at LAU, my fellow associate and assistant deans at the Gilbert and Rosemary Chagoury School of Medicine, distinguished faculty members of the School of Medicine, dear graduating students, residents, and fellows, esteemed guests, but most important, family members of the graduating students. This is a bittersweet day for all of us, a day of mixed emotion, in fact, especially for our graduating students and residents. My dear graduating students, you have worked so hard throughout the undergraduate years, throughout the medical school, and through the residency years to reach this day, the finish line for you. You have just finished a long, harsh, and sustained marathon. We know you have successfully finished the marathon because we were watching you every step of the way. And we know for a fact that you have run a good race. You have reached the finish line, and we are the crowd to cheer you on. There are no other spectators, as you see. You're undoubtedly saying to yourself, where is the music? Where is the music band? Where is the real crowd? Where is the lit, beautiful water fountain in Byblos? Where is the guest speaker giving us a speech? You're undoubtedly saying to yourself, we have been robbed of that moment in time that we have long waited for. You deserve such a recognition. And yes, you have been robbed of what you should have been a symbol of accomplishment and a moment where you would have proven to everyone around you that you reached your long-awaited goal. Well, guess what? The most important spectator is here, waiting at the finish line to cheer you on, and that spectator is you. Today, you have the privilege and the pleasure to be both the good runner and the spectator admiring the runner. You are basking in the pleasure of finishing up the hard task, but also in admiring your own efforts and your strong will. On behalf of President Jabra, Provost Nasser, and the entire faculty, I want to congratulate you on a job well done, and I want to extend to you our best wishes for a successful career in this fascinating and ever-expanding field of medicine. Today, you start a long and never-ending journey of uninterrupted learning, of continuous professional development, of continuous encounters with new and fascinating discoveries that, in my opinion, will get smarter and more intelligent. In fact, some of these discoveries will become more intelligent than you. My dear students and new fellow colleagues, you are now on the cusp of a challenging and rewarding beginning, exploring the complex and fascinating structure of the human body, not only exploring it, but also healing it. You will be exploring and healing the human body in new ways, new intelligent and evidence-based ways that I never in my wildest dreams thought would exist one day. There is a new word waiting for you out there, the word of data informatics, data analysis, deep learning, pattern recognition, machine learning, and the so-called artificial intelligence. In fact, this is a misnomer. There is nothing artificial about it. It is, in my opinion, the unleashing of computing power to supplement human reasoning. Artificial intelligence will probably outcompute you and will outsmart you, but it will never be able to replace good judgment, good experience, or good old common sense. You, the physicians of tomorrow, will enjoy and benefit tremendously from these advances in technology and must be ready to accept them, embrace them, and use them in your daily practice. In fact, the School of Medicine is now starting in new courses integrating data analysis, bioinformatics, computer science, and yes, artificial intelligence in its own curriculum. As I suspect tomorrow's physician will be half doctor and half engineer professional. You must consider yourself lucky to have entered this fascinating world of medicine at a time when the human genome has been decoded and where the resulting information will provide you with the knowledge necessary to practice personalized medicine. We will soon, at the School of Medicine, be establishing a department of human genetics that will teach our future generations, just like you, the science of genetic decoding, the genetic basis of disease such as cancer, behavioral disorders, inherited risk factors of many debilitating diseases, and the art of genetic counseling. I invite you to join and enjoy both the science and art of medicine, to cherish your job, to learn from each patient and from each other, and most of all, to discover the ingenuity of our Creator manifested in the beauty of the human body. In the medicine of your tomorrow, only the sky is the limit. What you will be able to accomplish, of what you will discover, and what you will be able to offer to your patients. Take full advantage of the power of technology, full of the advantage of new discoveries. Dare to think outside the box. Do not limit yourself to what we have taught you, but rather be bold and always ask yourself, how can I do it better? What you have learned here at the medical school is merely the beginning. In fact, your professional career has just started. You will be your own teacher, and it is entirely up to you to be a good one. Our society, unfortunately, continues to be plagued by cancer and other disorders such as dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, and what have you. We don't understand these diseases. We look upon you to deliver us from the humiliation of these diseases, from their debilitating effect on the body, on the mind, and the spirit, and most important, on the poor surrounding families that suffer so much. We look upon you to become competent and hard-working physicians, yet we expect you to find the time to enjoy your families, just like Dr. Jabra said, and to cherish your loved ones. We look upon you to acquire the self-confidence necessary to deal judiciously with life and with death. Yet, we expect you to remain humble and down-to-earth individuals. We look upon you to be able not only to make decisions, but to make the right decisions and to make them swiftly. Yet, we expect you to remain compassionate and affable human beings. We look upon you to succeed in your professional career and to earn a good living. Yet, we expect you to remain ethical and respectful of every single patient or every family member you will come across throughout your entire working life. We expect you, we really expect you, to attend to sick people who cannot afford medical care, and God knows there's more and more of them. You must attend to the people who cannot afford medical care just as well as you will attend to those who can. We expect you to consider each of your patients, without exception, as a real human being who has feelings and who has concerns and anxiety about their health, about their future, anxiety about what will happen to their families, anxiety about death and life after death, and has, but not least, about the financial burden of the medical care that they're undergoing. Look upon each and every patient as a normal person who has the same dignity, the same self-esteem as you, but who happens to be sick. Reach out to your patients. Take the time to talk to them, just like Dr. Jabra said. Listen to them and listen carefully with compassion. Take the time to explain things to them in layman terms. Sympathize and empathize with them, but do not ever patronize them. Be there for them and let them feel that you are their best advocate. It is only in discovering the fears, the anxieties, and the concerns of your patients that you will become a good doctor. You have accumulated excellent background knowledge in medicine, and you will, undoubtedly, with training and diligence, become very good physicians. However, that is not enough. You must also remain good, gentle, careful, and humble human beings whose job, your sole job, and the most important thing in your job is to improve the life of other fellow human beings. In doing so, I urge you not to forget your families, your spouse, your children. Find time for yourself. Spend time with your children. Develop your thoughts, develop your bodies, and develop your souls. That's the most important thing. Be very careful not to get caught in this vicious cycle of working hard, making money, only to work harder and to earn more money. You are more than entitled to earn a good income and to live well, but I urge you to keep things in perspective, adhere to the good values that you have been taught by your families and by your teachers. I, among many other wonderful faculty at the School of Medicine and with my fellow deans and associate deans, want to wish you the best of luck in your new career, and hope and pray that you will be successful in your upcoming journey. God bless you one and all, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Dean Mawad. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. May I present to you the School of Medicine's graduating class of 2020. Rawad Abi Asad. Emilio Abi Rashid. نسرين أبي سعد، إلياس أبو جودي، أبي البعيني، دينا الحاج، فاتن الغادبان، ساجة الحجار، ريم الروان، غدير عوض، مريان عون، وسام رضا أيوب، هشام بابا، مازن باسبوس، يارا بيلان، أنطوان بستاني، أحمد دبلج، ريم دمشقي، ناحية ديب الجلبوت، فانيسا دويري، عديب الدلبي، نورهان الأحمر، حسين الحاج، هاني الحلوي، عبد الكريم القراوي، جلال القراوي، كريم النعماني، علي الصفدي، نانسي عمانويل، بول فتا، أنتوني غانم، ربيع غازي، اسكندر حداد، دانا حمدان، ريتا اسكندر، ريتا خطار، كريستال طيف، أحمد مهدي، مارك ماردلي، شهد مزيان، قاسم نجدي، إلينا نصر، جيسون ناصر، محمد رمال، جان ميشيل سعد، رامي سعد فؤاد صقر ريم سلامة فراس شاهين جو يونس and Victor Zibara. Congratulations, graduates. We come now to a solemn and momentous part of our ceremony in the rite of passage to becoming a doctor. This is the reciting of the physician's oath, commonly known as the Hippocratic Oath. It's named for Hippocrates of Kos, the great physician of ancient Greece who is considered to be the father of the medical profession. We are pleased to share with you a version of the oath compiled especially for LAU. The reciting of the oath will be led by our esteemed Associate Dean for Medical Education, Dr. Sola Aoun Bahous.
I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due.
I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will practice my profession with conscious dignity and compassion. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the secrets that are confined in me. I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed. I will remember that I do not treat just a disease or a blood test, but a human being who is in need of my care.
I will not permit considerations of race, gender, religion, nationality, politics, socioeconomic standing, or sexual orientation to intervene between my duty and my patients.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life, even under threat. I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity.
I will uphold by all means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Dr. Victor Zibara, our valedictorian, the student with the highest ranking among the graduating class, will now give the valedictory speech. This address is considered a farewell to classmates before they go on to pursue their next adventures after graduation. Victor?
Thank you, Dr. Shdid. President Jabra, Dean Maawad, administration and faculty, family and friends, and the beloved class of 2020. It is an honor to be present here today and to be speaking on the behalf of my class, the 8th graduating class from LAU School of Medicine. 4 years ago, we were granted our wish upon a shooting star when we were accepted to LAU School of Medicine. 52 dreams came true, dreams that have been developing with us since we were toddlers. And our journey started, one which was filled with smiles, laughter, strangers that turned into friends, and friends that turned into family. That same journey was one filled with long sleepless, on-call and studying nights, body aches, coffee addictions, and tears. We were shaped into the humans we are today and learned to adapt to the gray area of medicine. However, through that journey, our new dreams of graduating medical school formed. It comes without saying that we are all warriors and we should all be proud of ourselves today because it took a lot of strength to get here. Yes, it seemed impossible at first, but we kept on trying and here we are. Sir William Osler once said, "The good physician treats the disease, the great physician treats the patient who has the disease." The Lebanese American University did not make good doctors out of us. Today, 52 great doctors graduate. Doctors who will treat with compassion and respect human life. LAU, our second home, has taught us the valuable lesson of not falling into the habit of treating the disease, but rather the patient. One lesson out of many for which we are forever thankful. A special thanks to the administration, physicians, and faculty for the countless hours of guidance and mentoring. Thank you to the classes who came before us for their support, advice, and especially for their tips of success. But most of all, a huge thanks to my classmates. We might have had our differences, but we have grown together, and you have become my best friends and my second family. And this has been an honor. لكل أم وبي نيابة عن كل حدا منا اليوم نشكركن. لأمي ولبي لو منكن أنا اليوم ما كنت بكون هون. بشكركن على كل شيء. To our families, this is your achievement as much as it is ours. Mom and Dad, your non-ending faith and love in me is a testament that love is the strongest force on earth. I love you both beyond my ability to say. Isaac Newton wrote, "If I have seen further, it is because I have stood on the shoulder of giants. Today and every day, our parents are those giants." And the most meaningful thanks goes to the patients, for all the patients, for sharing their vulnerabilities with us and helping us become who we are today. From the first patients in the anatomy lab who have donated their bodies to provide us with a powerful teaching experience, to the patients on the wards who have shared their stories with us. Thank you. Our most valuable lessons are not the ones we have learned from books, but rather from our patients, and it should be our duty to humbly and continuously learn from this ocean of endless knowledge. Class of 2020, we are marching into battle. Not only is this the beginning of residency for many of us, but we are entering the healthcare system at its darkest and most chaotic moments with the current pandemic. As we stood side by side and shoulder to shoulder through medical school, stand tall, side by side with your new residents, nurses, pharmacists, and attending physicians. Through this darkness, always remember that every single one of you has the energy to shine. Do not underestimate the impact you can leave in this world. The world is full of problems crying out for solutions, and believe me when I say, each one of us can be the light in the darkness. As physicians, we are pushed beyond our limits physically, mentally, and emotionally. Never forget to check on the people you work with. We are all humans at the end of the day. But most importantly, always check in on yourself. Take time to care for yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It is both a duty to yourself and your patients. Remember that you have a family here, and we are always ready to help. You are never alone. Finally, every morning, remind yourselves what it is that you love about being a physician. Remind yourselves, if you do not go after what you want, you will never have it. Wear your smiles along your white coats and stethoscopes. Be proud of who you are, because the next time you introduce yourselves to your patients, it is no longer a student here for the history and physical exam, but rather the doctor to take care of a patient in need. Massive congratulations to the class of 2020.
We would like now to recognize some very special graduating students, the recipients of our medical school awards. The Leadership Award, presented to a remarkable student in recognition of his leadership skills. The recipient of this award is Dr. Jason Nasser. The Community Service Award, the student who contributed to the most to her community, Vanessa Doueri. The Communication Skills Award, presented to a student who demonstrated exceptional skills. The recipient of this award is Dr. Jean-Michel Saad. The Research Award, presented to a remarkable student in recognition of his distinguished research record. The recipient of this award is Dr. Elias Abou-Jaoudi. And with 2 outstanding researchers this year, we also want to recognize another outstanding researcher, Dr. Nancy Emmanuel. The Professionalism Award, presented to a student who has exemplified the highest professional standards. The recipient is Dr. Paul Fatah. And finally, the Academic Excellence Award, presented to an outstanding student in recognition of his exceptional academic standing, our valedictorian, Dr. Victor Zibara. We move on now to the second portion of our program, where we recognize the young physicians who have successfully completed the next phase of their training, our graduating residents and fellows. The graduates of each program will be presented by their program directors.
For the Department of Anesthesiology, the graduating residents are Dr. Amanda Al-Helo, Dr. Linda Gulmiye,
For the Department of Dermatology, the graduating resident is Dr. Eli Saliba.
For the Department of Diagnostic Radiology, the graduating residents are Dr. Brian Robert Bitar, Dr. Kamal Nadim Tarabin,
Department of Emergency Medicine, the graduates are Dr. Michel Estefan, Dr. Sharbi Al-Ghusn, Dr. Ramzi Nakhle.
Ten residents will be graduating from the internal medicine program. Dr. Tariq Abu Saad, Dr. Zainab Awada, Dr. Patil Balozian, Dr. Ahmed Dimasi, Dr. Andrew Al-Alam, Dr. Adil Kakour, Dr. Ayman Hakim, Dr. Rebecca Ibrahim, Dr. Rita Khouri, Dr. Muhammad Sarhal.
Two residents will be graduating from the neurology program. Dr. Jumana Fraiha and Dr. Karim Makhoul.
For the ophthalmology department, our graduating resident is Dr. Rayan Amir Abu Khazam.
For the Department of Pediatrics, the graduating resident this year is Dr. Kim Al-Haddad.
For the Department of General Surgery, graduating residents are Dr. Julian Sayer, Dr. Christian Saliba,
For the Department of Orthopedics, the graduating residents are Eli Al-Najjar and Eli Al-Kayyim. Karam Karam.
For the Division of Urology, the graduating resident is Dr. Jean-Michel Azzo.
One fellow will be graduating from the endocrinology program, Dr. Stephanie Farah.
It's my pleasure now to call on two of our graduating residents who will speak on behalf of their classmates, Dr. Elijah Najjar, followed by Dr. Michel Stefan.
Ladies and gentlemen, graduating class of the extraordinary year of 2020, I'm not here to give a speech. But stuck as we are in the madness of this COVID year, like a sailor in a raging ocean, one finds himself succumbing to the bittersweet pressure of memories and dreams. So our last hope, facing the storm of emotions, is resorting to the power of words. As we stand at the end of our journey with LAU Medical Center Hospital, my advice to you, everyone, excuse me, Dr. Makhbat, remove your masks. Yes, you heard me right. Remove your masks, because today, every one of us deserves to show his face. Let the whole world know who we are. Wait a minute. Who are we? Plato, Darwin, Freud, Nietzsche, they all have their theories. But for me, we are the sum of all our journeys, all the people we met, the conversations we had, the books we read, our failures and our successes, our lectures, our duties, our doctors, our dean. We are our surgeries, we are our fears, and we are our parents and our lovers and our brothers and our patients. You got my point? Can you count all those varying factors? Let me tell you something. Certainty is dead. But I can tell you one more thing for sure. Having spent most of our days at LAU, we are what LAU taught us to be. And it has nothing to do with social distancing. Sorry again, Dr. Makhbat. Brothers and sisters of the graduating class of the epic year of 2020, I'm not here to give a speech. I'm not here to dwell on change because we heard it a lot. But what I'm trying to do is tell you about two things: our memories and our dreams. And I'm here to beg you not to let the world or anyone change who we are. In memory lane, steps are taken by remembrance. So remember, my friends. Remember the faces we saw at the hospital, the faces of those in pain, the cries of those who were worried, their daughters, their sons. Remember, they had no masks on. And the first test we had to go through in the numbered room after spending years of studying medicine was not in medicine. It was to look through those eyes deeper, deeper and beyond into the core of the human value. Remember the first patient who cried in front of you? You promised you will never leave the hospital before making him smile. Don't change. Remember the first scream you heard in the corridor of the 4th floor after learning that someone died in the ICU? You couldn't hide your tears. And you went there to show the family that you share their grief. And I know you didn't know what to say, but you went there. Don't change. Remember the first time you had to do CPR and you looked at the patient's face and you were sweating and praying, God, please let him live. And you did your best, and then they come and tell you the guidelines say you have to stop. That's it. We did what we have to do. And you screamed, I don't want to stop, because in his face I see my father. In his face I see everyone I love. And I don't want to stop. Don't change. And remember, my friends, when you used to tell your doctors that we didn't know how to do it, but we're ready to learn, and we're not ashamed of asking for help. Don't change. Remember the gratitude you had for everyone around you, from the cleaning team, the staff, the technicians, the nurses, the doctors, the patients, your friends. Don't change. Remember the excitement we had when we held a cinema night to collect funds for our poor baby patient? You remember the efforts we put to rehabilitate the prison in Alay? When we built a free clinic in Nabha? Remember when we went all together freely to examine all the patients in Zahle, East Bika, Karm al-Zaytun, Burj Hamoud, in Baalbek? Don't change. And finally, remember the fun we had together playing basketball? You remember our trivia night? You remember our discussions of literature and books and movies, our trips? Can you still hear the sound of our laughter? Don't change. And in the final stop in memory lane, remember the compliments you receive. Learn what you can from the insults, but then forget them. Forget them forever. And if you manage to do it, please tell me how. In the kingdom of dreams, our dreams, hope reigns as king. Hope for a more compassionate world. Hope for a society with less scars, less pain, less fear, less limits. In our dreams, which will keep expanding like ripples in a pond that will one day become the whole world, I swear. We, the graduates of the challenging year of 2020, will keep our pursuit of happiness that is only real when shared. In our dreams, we will reach out to all those palms extended in every corner, in every city in this country. But we won't put coins, no. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put our hands and pull them out. Come join us into our world. In our dreams, we won't wait for people to come ask for help. We will go there because we know we must deserve to be givers. We must deserve the joy of giving. In our dreams, we will follow PJ Palacio's advice. When you have to choose between being right and being kind, always, always choose being kind. During this COVID epidemic or pandemic, we learned what was essential and what was not. In a world drunk with consumerism, feeding on its own flesh like cancer, coronavirus taught us that we can live. We can escape this madness of restlessness. But what we cannot escape is the necessity of love and compassion. Maybe the little prince was right after all. What is essential is invisible to the eye. So come with me. Close your right eye. Now close your left eye. And look with the remaining one. Do you see us dreaming? Can you see our dreams becoming reality? This has been our journey, and we will always be wanderers. A poet I love, Machado, writes in one of his poems, "Wanderer, your footsteps are the road and nothing more. Wanderer, there is no road. The road is made by walking." So let's keep walking, my friends. Let's keep walking in the direction of our dreams. I would like to end by quoting Billy Pilgrim in Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five, a lovely book, who knew that time was irrelevant and every end is just the beginning of another journey. In the book, Pilgrim closes his speech, as he does every speech, with those words: "Farewell, hello, farewell, hello, but I'm not here to give a speech."
I will give the speech. 4 years ago, none of us would have imagined ourselves where we are today. Don't get me wrong, we've all dreamt of this moment. the beginning of our professional careers, an achievement we've all been dreaming of and working days and sleepless nights to reach, a moment we've all been waiting for, walking up the stage and receiving our highest degrees yet, with the cheering sounds of our families and friends in the background. 4 years ago, nobody in this ceremony would have imagined that the class of 2020 would be graduating the way it is today, online. Nobody would have believed that the beginning of our medical careers would coincide with the birth of a new world. Fellow graduates, this year alone, we as healthcare providers have been through so much. With the October uprising and the roadblocks, there was a major shift in every Lebanese's daily life. When most were not able to reach their jobs, we were there, day and night. And then came the pandemic, a pandemic that has swept the whole world and is still stirring up lives as we speak. A virus that is shifting every country's structure of living, economy, and healthcare system. But we, as physicians, stood there in the face of the pandemic, remembering the oath we swore to abide by. Today, I'd like to congratulate us, the class of 2020, for the dedication and the hard work throughout the years of training, but more importantly, during this final year that held so many obstacles in the face of education and in the face of every individual. Today, fellow graduates, we are moving on to a new chapter in our lives, filled with blank pages that have never been addressed by anyone before us. Some of us are celebrating this milestone away from our friends and families, who throughout our whole lives have been our major support. The words thank you do not begin to show our appreciation and love for what you've done for us. Thank you to our moms and dads who sacrificed their time and effort to allow us to become the people we are today. To our brothers and sisters who stood by our sides since day one. And to every person who was part of our journey, supporting our every step in achieving our dreams. Today, we are proud LEU graduates. Being part of LEU allowed each and every one of us to have an extended family. To me, it is easy to say this. I have been part of this family for the past 11 years. But I can safely say from the bottom of every resident's heart, thank you. President Jabra, President-elect Dina Maawad, thank you for making every one of us feel at home when we were away from home. This institution has taught us professionalism, true patient care, and respect. To every attending, thank you for being incredible mentors and for pushing us into becoming better physicians. To every resident who stood by our side throughout these years, thank you. To every nurse, staff, and patient, thank you for giving us memories and teaching us lessons that we will forever treasure. Fellow graduates, a final thank you to each and every one of you. We stood by each other throughout our training and helped shape one another into becoming the physicians we are today. We can only hope that in the future, we pay it forward to our loved ones, to the people of our country, and to this institution. Class of 2020, congratulations on being the warriors of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Go out to the world and prove to them what LEU grads can do. Mabruk.
Now, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the awards given to the outstanding residents in internal medicine. It is customary for this department to elect an intern and resident of the year to recognize those with exceptional ability in patient care, empathy, medical knowledge, and leadership. They are elected by both faculty and peers. First, our intern of the year from postgraduate year 1, Dr. Evelyne Touer. Dr. Touer graduated from Lebanese American University and joined LEU Medical Center in 2019. This highly professional, hardworking, and dedicated resident has demonstrated excellent patient care and follow-up skills. Her empathy and dedication will surely serve her well as an outstanding future physician. And our resident of the year from PGY2, promoted to PGY3, Dr. Nadia El-Haddad. Dr. El-Haddad is one of our own LEU graduates and joined the medical center in 2018. This hardworking and reliable resident who is so devoted to her patients also possesses excellent clinical knowledge and is a team player and leader among her peers. With her strong will and uncompromising professionalism, she will no doubt be a superb future physician. We have come now to the conclusion of the hooding ceremony and graduation of our residents and fellows of the LEU Gilbert and Rosemary Chagoury School of Medicine. to those with us here in person, and to all those attending online, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Graduates, stay close to your alma mater. Become a strong family of alumni. You are our best and brightest hope for the future. And finally, we offer you our warmest, heartfelt good wishes and a big virtual hug. Mabruk, congratulations.